We would like to welcome everyone to our Remembrance Day Service for Innisfil campus. In particular, we are happy to have our school trustee, Ms. Holly Bilton, join us today. My name is Voller, and I am here with my classmate, Abby Watson. We are very proud to have been chosen to represent the iCampus schools as your Masters of Ceremonies for the service today. Despite the health regulations in place at this time, we believe it still be important to gather as a school community to recognize Remembrance Day. This year we have created a service in order to reflect, remember, and honor without creating an additional risk to our school and local community's health. Similar to last year, legions across Canada are unable to hold traditional services in order to help fill the spaces around local memorials. The Legion is asking Canadians to purchase wreaths for the day of the service for the second year in a row. The Innisfil campus has proudly purchased one of these wreaths as a way to pay our respects and show our appreciation to all of our Canadian veterans. And on November 11th, it will be placed here in Innisfil at the local Legion during the private service.
There are many people who helped make this Remembrance Day service possible, and although we are disappointed that we are unable to have our local Legion members join us, we would like to extend a special thanks to our Sergeant-at-Arms, Mr. Ian Lucas, our Royal Canadian Legion Branch number 104 Innisfil Color Party, our local veterans, and our Legion Piper, Mr. Michael McCletchy, who all pivoted last year and took the time to create some of these very special highlights you will see today. Since this is a very solemn occasion, please remember that there will be no talking or clapping during this assembly. I would now like to welcome Arcadian from Mrs. Nimchuk's homeroom to acknowledge the land.
Indigenous people have fought on the front lines of every major war that Canada has been involved in. They have done with so valor and distinction, showing their services for our country on each occasion. Indigenous people overcome challenges and made compromises to help our country efforts to restore world peace. Their courage and sacrifices are a source of pride for all Canadians. That is why it's important to acknowledge that the land we are gathering on today is Treaty 7 territory, the traditional territory of Blackfoot Confederacy and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. I would also like to acknowledge my own band, to pay my respect to people of Nechquit First Nation who are currently on disputed territory of Vancouver's Island, BC. By acknowledging the land, we show our gratitude. Teko.
At this time, we ask that everyone please remove your hats and stand as Piper Michael McCletchy leads the members of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch number 104 Innisfil Color Party, and remain standing until we have completed the singing of O Canada.
Color Party, shoulder, colors. Color Party, right, turn. Color Party, quick, march. Color party, halt! Color party, inwards, turn. Order, colors.
Please be seated. Remembrance Day ceremonies have played a major role in remembrance since 1931. Every year at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, Canadians gather in memorial parks, community halls, workplaces, schools, and homes to stand in honor of all who have fallen. Pandemic restrictions have meant smaller ceremonies or their outright cancellation. Other gatherings are being replaced with virtual ceremonies like ours today. Nevertheless, the tradition of remembrance will and should continue. The Canada's fallen will not be forgotten. Even though we hold our service today, on November 10th, we encourage all students to observe a moment of silence tomorrow on November 11th to mark the sacrifice of the many who have fallen in the service of their community, and to acknowledge the courage of those who still serve.
November 11th, the most unforgettable day of the year.
2021 marks the 100th anniversary of the Remembrance Poppy in Canada. Madame Anna Guerin later christened the poppy lady from France, inspired by John McCrae's poem In Flanders Fields, had an idea to adopt the distribution of the poppy on Armistice Day as a way to raise money for veterans' needs and to remember those who had given their lives during the First World War. In July of 1921, the Great War Veterans Association adopted the poppy as the flower of remembrance. Since then, the Legion and its members have upheld this tradition.
100 years ago, an inspiring woman had a vision. A bright red poppy to honor veterans who lost their lives in the First World War, and to help raise support funds to help others in the aftermath.
The idea was conceived by Madame Anna Guerin of France, sparked by John McCrae's poem In Flanders Fields. Anna had originally founded a charity to help rebuild war-torn regions of France after the First World War.
Poppies made of fabric were sold to help her charity. She presented the concept to France's allies, including the Great War Veterans Association in Canada, which later became the Royal Canadian Legion. The idea was adopted, and the poppy symbol made its first appearance in Canada on July 6, 1921, the year of the first poppy campaign to support our veterans. To mark the symbol's 100th anniversary in 2021, the Royal Canadian Legion produced a replica of the original fabric pin.
The familiar image has come to reflect the sacrifices of fallen Canadian veterans from all arms of the military and from all missions, including 2 world wars, Korea, Afghanistan, Bosnia, peacekeeping duties, and other assignments.
Canada's Parliament entrusted the Legion with the exclusive right to use the poppy as the nation's symbol of remembrance and to safeguard its image, a pledge it honors today.
100 years later, the symbol is unmistakable. Its meaning still deep.
The poppy of remembrance honors sacrifice. The poppy of remembrance cries, never again. The poppy of remembrance reflects solace and support.
Anna Guérin's vision lives on.
The Royal Canadian Legion, in partnership with schools across the country and with the Legion National Foundation, promote remembrance and support youth education through the annual poster and literary contests. Students in grade 1 through 12 are invited to submit their creative works with a focus on remembrance through their local schools to be entered into a Legion branch contest. Winning entries move forward to the Legion's provincial level contest. Finalists are then forward to the Legion National Foundation in Ottawa to be judged at the national level. This past year, we had a wide variety of award recipients at the local and provincial level. Ava Lean, grade 7 student at Innisfil Middle, won locally for the following essay.
This is not over yet. 1939. I sit down breathless, wondering what move to make next. Do I peek my head over and start shooting, or do I try and find a better, more clear space to see? I decide to go over to my friend, David. He says something, but I couldn't hear him over all the bombs. Then he runs ahead and signals for me to come to him. We are losing. I run as fast as I can to him. A bullet scrapes my hair, chilling me to the bone. That was too close. I start shooting at some men, but none of my bullets hit them. My hands are shaking, more so trembling. I have to calm myself down. I take a few deep breaths and I'm calm. I start firing again and people drop to the ground. Am I a murderer? No. They were trying to kill us, right? I erase that thought from my mind and run onto a field. It wasn't a field, it was moss. I gagged, but then I remember I was in war, protecting people like me. I heard a plane come near to us and it has our flag on it. This will be over soon. I just know it. I take another step and then everything goes black. I feel myself flying for a minute, then I hit something hard. I wake up in a hospital, aching all over. I look beside me. One person has a bandage over his eye and the other has lost a leg. I try to get up off the bed, but then I soonly fall down. I get myself up again and get dressed into uniform and grab a gun. This is not over yet.
Each year at our school-based service, we have lit candles in memorial to those who served our country. The ritual of lighting a candle is a way to pay tribute to a life past, and keeping a light burning in remembrance signifies that the memory still lives on and burns bright. It is a ritual that promotes reflection and signifies remembrance. This tradition pays many respects to the brave men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces who have paid the ultimate price in the naming of protection of our shared values.
The commitment to remember as a symbol of our promise to never forget. This reading along with the 2 bugles that calls that signal the start and the end of the day. The last post and reveille are used at Remembrance Day ceremonies to say a final farewell to the soldiers, as they can rest in peace now. So now please stand for the remainder of the service, as the last post will be played, followed by a moment of silence, then the reveille, the commitment to remember, and finally, God Save the Queen.
When you go home, tell them of us and say, "For your tomorrow, we gave our today."
Save our
party, shoulder, colors. Color party, right, turn. Color party, quick, march.
You may be seated. This concludes our service for this year. Once again, we appreciate that in these unique times, we are still able to come together with a shared purpose and commitment to remembering. Thank you to our students for their respect, and thank you to all who have made the service possible. Have a great rest of the day.